Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Pratham and today I am making a code.org. So, we are gonna learn about code.org in these tutorials. So, to first, you have to create our account. I've already created my account and logged in. So, today I'm gonna teach you about the code.org interface. You have to go and create, and then there are several modes like Game Lab, App Lab, Sprite Lab, Artist, Dance Party. Okay, so I'm gonna teach you App Lab now. So in App Lab, we can make apps. I'm just gonna show you the interface today. Ding. It's loading. 1 minute. Okay. Oh, it came. So first, there is the workspace over here. In the workspace, we can put our blocks we want. Like I've shown you, you have to put your blocks in the workspace. And secondly, the workspace is basically where you put the blocks to code. So then there's a toolbox. In the toolbox, the top there are 8 colors with some text. So the first one is UI control, second is data, third is control, fourth is variables, and blah blah blah. So we can get the blocks that are categorized in different areas. So in the math section, we'll get operations of math, random numbers, round, sin, max, and etc. Math related. UI controls, you can set the text of something, we can create an image and do other things. In variables, we can create variables and set their values and and then so on and so on. Here is the output. So it comes on a mobile screen. Even though I'm on a laptop, it comes on a mobile screen. So it will show you how it will look on the mobile. So if you share it to your friend who's on a mobile, how we see it here, you will see it in full screen. You won't see in this. Right? And at the top, there are three things: code, design, and data. So this is the coding interface. There's also the debug console here, but that is not any of important. So what it will do is, like, if you get a bug, it will help you find the bug. So it will break step over, step out, and step in. And it can do that, but I don't know much about that. The second one, design. So there's the design toolbox here, and then there's the workspace here. So in the design toolbox, it will show the various elements you can put, like button, text input, label, drop down, radio button, etc. etc. So if you go to button, so this is there a screen. So there is the screen, right? It will show its styling, the background color of the screen, the ID of the screen. So the ID is that you're gonna learn more about the ID when you're coding. It can be used to find the screen. So in the code, if you want to change the background of the color of the screen, you would have to change the background color of which you have to change the background color of the ID. So that's why the ID is there. And you can put a background image, but you don't have to. Okay. So if I drag a button, so in the toolbox, you have to click on this and drag it all the way here. So it comes out automatically with some styling. So the ID as button 1, text as button, width as 100, height as 40, exposition y, the coordinates as 95 and 180, the text color, the background color, everything comes automatically, but the image doesn't come. We have to fill in that. And then the hidden, no, it's not can be hidden always. And then there's also depth. So we can change these in the code at any time we want after something happens. So when this button is clicked, you might change the text of it to click, make it go here, and also make it blue. You can do all of that. Okay. And in data, so in data, it will show data library and data browser. So the data library, it Codatorg has some libraries in animals. There are things about cats and dogs. So there's information about different cat breeds and dog breeds. So if you import it, it will basically download it to your app, and then you can use the information in that. For art, there is the Tate Museum artwork. So all of that. In geography, there are a lot of tables, and then for these there are also, but science has the most tables. It has like this one. Okay, and then the data tables. So you can create your own data table if you want to store any data with multiple columns for anything you want. So I'll just create one. So I'll just put it as table and add. Okay, then it will come here, and we can add a row, we can add columns, and we can do anything. We can also visualize the table, can import it as a CSV file and export. So you can export this thing. So if you make this column and you export it to another app with the same column because you don't want to type again, you can do that. You can also import another table to this. So let's go back, and now I'll talk about these. So if you click on the code, it will always go back to code.org homepage. Here, if you click on rename, you can rename your project. Otherwise, it will come as untitled project. You can also share it. In share, you can copy the link. You can send to your phone by your phone number. You can also share it by Facebook or Twitter. Also, you can import it as a zip. You can export it as a zip file. You can take the embed code and also share it as a library with someone like a friend, classmate, or anyone. If you remix this, but for remix, you don't have to remix for this. Like if you go to someone else's project and you want to edit it in your own version, so it might be better. You can't edit his own version because sometimes then hacker will come and delete all the code. So if you remix it, you get your own version of it into your account and you can edit it, but it has all the code and design he has put in. Okay, and also in here there's always going to be a button called version history. Version history is that, like, if you made some error, you can if you made some error and it's not working properly, if you tried something out and you want to go back to the previous version, so and you don't remember the code of the previous version, you can just go to back. Like, it makes a new version when you were, like, I added a button, then it will create a new version, and when I added the data table, it will create a new version, like that. And also show text. So I'll show what show text means. If JavaScript, it's like typed, in this it has blocks. If you show text, it will come like this. So it's gonna be basic JavaScript, but it's gonna be a little edited. It's not just JavaScript, but it's a little more English. It's a little more English. No, I'll just show blocks. Okay. So I hope you understood that bit. Next, I'll I'll show you the Sprite Lab, Artist, and Game Lab. The dance party. Okay, the dance party, it doesn't have much. It's like the Sprite Lab only. So in Sprite Lab, you have basically the same thing. It's basically the same, but the blocks, they don't come in lines. It's more of a thunkable type. So thunkable, you seen my thunkable projects code. So that is. So it automatically comes this. So what it has in the, so there are two sections. This is the blocks and this is the workspace. So the blocks has different, like, it doesn't come with a color at the top. It doesn't come like that. It has these different sections. World. So in world, you can set the background. So it's like the screen styling. There's gonna be no design for this. So that's why you can put the background color or the background picture. And you can also print some text on the screen, or you can get a random color, and you can also play a sound from the world. In sprites, you can create a sprite, you can remove a sprite, but we're gonna talk about them in the next tutorials. I can't explain. In locations, it's gonna talk about locations. In actions, about the movement and the styling of these changes. And in events, like when the arrow keys are pressed, when the sprite is clicked, after some seconds. Okay, behaviors like that, and more and more blocks. For here, if you're doing it on a phone, it will have these arrow keys. I haven't made any code, so it doesn't come. But when you click on these arrow keys, it will act as you're pressing the left arrow key. You can also pause, but the pause button doesn't work. If you run it, it will just do the code. There now, after you run it, you can pause and you can do something with the arrows. You can move around or what that came as. Okay, and for the costumes is like an editor, because code.org has many sprites pre-uploaded, many things, cars, aliens, cactus, cacti, and more. You can also create your own costume, and you can already edit the costumes, the pre-loaded costumes here. So that's about it. So it's almost the same, and also there's something with the share. You can only share the link or send to your phone or publish it or send it by Facebook or Twitter. You can't have the embed code or export it. You can't do that with GameLab things. So now, can I do the next? So artist is also a little different. You just viewed the sprite lab. So the artist, it's just basically the sprite lab, but it has the start over and show code. Okay. Yes. So if you show the code, it will show it in JavaScript. Okay. So in this there are few sections and there's one big button run, and you can also change the speed here instead of, and there's no top, nothing at the top, but for these you have the same thing. So it's just basically the sprite lab. There's almost no difference except the slider is not there also. Artist is just meant for drawing. So now I'll just go to home and then I'll show the game lab. The game lab is also basically the sprite lab, but okay. So the game lab, is almost, it's more like the app lab, but in this it doesn't have, so it has world, groups, control, so all about the game, like how the sprite lab it was, but blocks it has blocks like the app lab, but there's only code and animation. So an animation, it will make something move like that, so it's basically graphics. If you show it grid, it will show all the coordinates, so it will help you where you want to go. And this, so it's almost, it's but this you can also export for the web, share as a library, or get the embed also. Okay. So and for dance party, let's see. So it's just gonna have a song and then setup. So can, it is just more, so you can just put some, it's a sprite lab and you have, and it has some preloaded songs, so you can just put a sprite and make it dance. So you can just put a sprite, put some music, put the background music, put the background pictures cool, and that's it. So it's a little more boring, I think, but if you like it, but I'll also be I'm gonna be teaching all of these sections. So let's go to, okay, and that was my video. So please guys, get used to the Coda.org interface, as it will help you in the next classes to code. So that was my video. Bye guys. Hope you please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to click on the notification bell. See you soon.